This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about no contact when your ex is an idiot. Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below, and let's get started. So, a lot of people who talk to me when they are wanting to get their ex back, they're wanting to know what to do, will say, Coach, I'm using the no contact rule, but I don't think my ex is getting it. And some people have even said, because my ex is a bit of an idiot, which is pretty darn interesting because some people don't want to be with idiots. I have cared an awful lot about some idiots in my life. And so I relate. And I would say, if you love an idiot, that's your business. And I'm here to help. So what do I mean when I say that someone is in love with an ex who's being an idiot? That they have been dumped by this person, they're in no contact, and this person is being an idiot. So first of all, a lot of times people will say that the ex is non-responsive. So you're using the no contact rule. And this person should see that there's risk here, that you could move on, that you're strong enough to stay away. And they should get that. And it should wake them up and jolt them to where they want to get back together with you. A lot of times what happens is simply that there is not enough time that's gone by. And if you allow more time to pass, this person will get it. They will realize this and will at least reach out to you and reconsider. They will doubt the breakup enough simply because they're actually having to experience potentially losing you, which a lot of exes at a breakup don't feel that because it's just an idea in their heads that they want to break up with you. They don't know what it's really like to live that way. And when you stay in contact with them, when you're their friend, or you do things to try to get their attention and let them know how you feel, you are preventing them from feeling a real breakup, which means they don't get to know if they actually want the breakup or not. And so a lot of times when it seems like your ex is not responsive, it could mean they're not an idiot, but that they are needing more time for this to really impact them the way that you want it to. And it takes more time for some people than others. A lot of people want me to give a timeline. And based on 20 years, I can tell you the pattern I see. It does not happen this way in every situation. And I'm going to say that again. It does not happen in every situation on this timeline. I'm giving you a generic look at this after large numbers of people have gone through my coaching and they've gotten their ex back, or they haven't, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. And that's because of the person and some of the events in the situation. But about 45 days is when you can see an increase in the likelihood of an ex reaching out. And there are reasons for that I talk about in other videos and in my emergency breakup kit. But some people kind of expect their ex to respond in a week to no contact. And that does happen. But if we're talking about a bell curve, and most things in life where you're dealing with different responses, there will be a bell curve. There's going to be a very quick response. There's going to be an average response, and there's going to be a long response, a response that takes a long time. And response to the no contact rule is on a bell curve. So you will see some people responding very quickly. I had a message from someone the day before this video where they told me no contact took about a week. And that's the absolute best case scenario. And I really hope that many of you get that happens for you. But also understand that there are the majority of cases where it's going to take longer. 45 days is kind of where most people will be before their ex reaches out. So it will take longer in most situations. So maybe your ex is not an idiot. Maybe they're just average. All right. So another thing people tell me is my ex got angry when I used the no contact rule. What an idiot. Yes, sometimes an ex will get angry and people will think, okay, I messed up because they're angry. But what's interesting is that just because you make someone angry, just because you make your ex angry, it doesn't mean you've messed it up. Sometimes defending yourself, sticking up for yourself, and not behaving as though you are lower on the totem pole of attraction than this person can make them angry. It doesn't mean that you did the wrong thing, and it doesn't mean that they're not going to come back to you. Because a lot of times when an ex does respond with anger to the no contact rule, which is somewhere around 20% of the time, it's when they feel that jolt that they're not attractive enough for you to chase. Because some people dump you and expect you to chase them. They like to watch the show because it makes them feel so sexy, so good about themselves that they're kicked back after having dismissed you, and here you are chasing them. It feels so good to have someone chase you. And when you don't do that, it's almost like an insult to them. It's sort of like when a parent finally stands up to a toddler who's demanding a toy in a store. If the parent usually gives in, and all of a sudden now they're not, in the toddler's mind, it's like, you changed the rules on me. You're not buying me the toy when I'm pitching the fit. And they can pitch a worser fit. Does that mean the parent was wrong to tell this spoiled child, no, I'm not going to spend more of the money that I worked for that I need to provide for us on a toy for you when you don't need it because that's wasteful? The parent was not wrong. Just like you were not wrong by going into no contact when someone's broken up with you and has dismissed the relationship from their life. You were not wrong to give them the breakup that they say they wanted. But a lot of times people, when they're not chased, when their ego's not stroked, and if they were using you at all for that, or at least realized that was something that they got from you that they're not getting now, they will respond with anger. And it does kind of make them an idiot. So another thing people will say is, I'm using the no contact rule, and I don't think he got it. Or I don't think she got it, because after about a week, I got this text that said, are you okay? As though, since I'm not hearing from you, something must be wrong. Which is sometimes also something they can say when they are feeling some of that potential loss. When they are surprised that you could stay away. They thought you were going to be interacting with them, maybe even begging for them back. Maybe trying to stick around and be their friend because they're so wonderful and you want to be in their life. That's the mindset of a lot of people who do the dumping, because most people, when they dump you, do not realize what they're doing. They don't realize the consequences and the severity of what they're doing. That's why a lot of people, when they get to experience a real breakup, realize they don't want it. It's like, I didn't realize what I was doing. They probably won't put it into those words, but that's very common. And when someone asks if you're okay, it's really confusion because they thought they would still be interacting with you and they missed that. So usually that's a good sign. It doesn't necessarily mean that your ex is an idiot. It just means that they're confused by the situation and that what they've done, they didn't realize they were doing, which has happened to all of us. So that's a pretty good sign if your ex asks if you're okay. It means that something's going on they didn't anticipate. It doesn't mean that they are full on ready to get back together yet, but it does mean that they have noticed that something is happening that they don't like, or that they are not used to, or that they didn't anticipate. And that's one of the first very important steps. You slow them down. They're not running away from you. They're actually considering the situation. So it's a good sign. And it doesn't mean that your ex is an idiot. It doesn't mean that your ex is not an idiot either. So another thing people will say is, Coach Lee, my ex is an idiot because he's jealous because I went out with another guy. And here we are. He broke up with me and I go out with another guy and he's jealous. Like he wants his cake and to eat it too, as we say in the US. And I would agree. There is some idiocy to that. It's mostly because in this situation, one that I'm thinking of was the guy who broke up with her and didn't realize the severity of what he's doing. It certainly works both ways. I have seen girls show tremendous jealousy when they break up with a guy and then he is dating other girls. And of course, anyone who's dating a romantic partner when you've broken up with them and someone can feel jealous about it seems a bit odd, because it's like you made the decision and I'm free of you. We're not together anymore, so I have every right to date other people. That's a reasonable mindset. But people will get upset. They'll break up with you. But then you go live your life. You go out with someone else and they get jealous. And sometimes people do go out too early when they need more time to heal before they go out on dates. That's another matter for another video, and I have talked about that before. But it is still true that your ex has no right to act as though you've done something wrong because you haven't, because they broke up with you. Talk about that some in my emergency breakup kit and what jealousy means and how you can even respond when your ex is wanting to talk to you about that. But just know that in this case, yeah, I would agree. Your ex is a bit of an idiot for feeling this. But it also is a good sign if you want to get back together with them, because if your ex didn't care if you were going out with anybody, that would be a bigger problem. Whenever someone feels numb to you or passive and has no response, that's worse than even if they're very angry at you. When there's strong emotion surrounding you, that is usually a good thing because it means you impact them. It means there was intimacy there, at least at one point, and probably still is. Because think about it. If you meet a stranger who's an idiot, if you meet a stranger who does something you don't like, it might make you mad for a moment, but it's not going to ruin your day, except in extreme situations. Strangers don't impact us that much, but people we are intimate with, we're close to, they impact us a lot more. Their thoughts, their decisions, their inactions, things they say, things they do, they impact us a lot more because it matters to us. So if your actions impact your ex that much, there's still something there. So I also hear this a lot. Someone will say, I was in no contact for 2 weeks, and out of the blue, my ex blocked me. What an idiot. There are a few reasons why this could happen. Sometimes the person might be thinking, I'm going to start maybe going out with people or moving on with my life, and I want to block this person so that any potential person I'm going to be with doesn't get any wrong ideas that I'm still interacting with them. Now, that's in the minority of cases, so don't panic if your ex has blocked you. It doesn't necessarily mean that he or she is going to be going out with other people. It can also simply mean they don't want to see your feed anymore on social media because it's difficult. It can also be your ex trying to get your attention because a lot of times when you do no contact, you create such a vacuum of power that pulls it to you because you're not chasing. You're giving your ex the breakup. They feel like they are not being put on that pedestal of attraction and worship that maybe they kind of thought that they would get after breaking up with you because they think that you want them so bad and you want to be with them so bad that you will chase and fight, try to get them back. When that doesn't happen, as I talked about earlier, some idiots get mad. And so your ex, your idiot, can get mad and block you for it just to show you what's up, just to kind of try to get back at your no contact. As I mentioned in the previous point, if your actions or lack of actions impact your ex that much, that means you get to them, which is a terrific sign. If you can't get to them, if what you do means nothing to your ex, the odds of you getting them back are less until that changes. So it's a good thing if you are in a situation where you're concerned you're not going to get your ex back because they're an idiot. Please subscribe to this channel. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.